Someone wrote in and said, what about sex positive and kink organizations and conferences that don't pay their presenters? What can we do about this as an educator? This is Reid from readaboutsex.com and Sex Geek.
And Sex Geek Summer Camp, which you can go to sexgeeksummercamp.com, which is a business retreat for sex educators. And I'm wearing my tux here with Cathy of the Intimacy Dojo because the airline I flew this morning lost my other bag, and this is the only thing I had that was appropriate to shoot videos
so
in.
Not only does his mug get stolen, but his Sex Geek Summer Camp t-shirt is flying around the country somewhere.
The rest of my clothes are on a vacation of their own.
Yeah, his mug has often been kidnapped. If you haven't followed, it has its own Twitter account, his Sex Geek Summer Camp mug.
Mm-hmm. And that's Reid's missing mug?
I think that's it, yeah.
Or something like that. At Reid's missing mug. Like, my life is so exciting that my coffee cups have their own Twitter accounts.
That's very impressive, actually.
So let's get back. They don't want to know this. They want to know the answer to these questions.
Yeah, so it is there are a lot of conferences that are either like they're smaller or starting up or they don't pay their presenters. They might offer a discount or a free entrance to the conference, but they don't pay the presenters who put a lot of effort and work into putting everything together. Mm-hmm. What do you recommend for
Well, doing? I'm gonna ask anybody who's curious about this you don't have to run your own conference, but go do the paperwork, the research to find out what it would cost to run a conference, and make it your goal to pay your presenters what you think is fair, and then see if you can make the numbers work.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not excusing the situation about asking people to do what they do for a living for free, but I do, as somebody who runs live events, and Cathy's helped me with a lot of events, like, there are certain business models where there's not like, everyone thinks that people who are running conferences are gazillionaires.
The hotels are so expensive.
I'm just going to tell you that it's tricky. If you want to make money,
don't do it.
Don't run conferences. That's not what you should do as a, like, I'm going to be rich. I haven't found a way to do it.
If you count in the hours of organization and wrangling people, some things we've done has been like 10 cents an hour, like in terms of profit and people have to live on it too.
Yeah. So I would ask you to do your due diligence and see what you can learn about where you would get money to pay your presenters if you were running a conference. And two, the real solution, I think, is how can you as a sex educator monetize your conference appearances?
Yeah.
Are there ways that you can make money off of being somewhere for free, or ways that you can bring in revenue for the conference promoter so that you get paid? So for some of you, that's going to be, may I attend your conference and have a sex toy company or something like that sponsor me? Mm-hmm. So you could get paid by doing the hustle yourself and building a relationship. You're getting a call, Cathy. Can I decline it?
Decline it, please.
Or should we take it together? Should we answer the call or not?
Sorry about that.
So the idea of, like, how do you, can you make a relationship with a sponsor so that you can get paid to be there? Mm-hmm. Could you bring sponsors into the conference and get a cut of that? Like, I've done that for the Bill conference. They wanted me to run,
and Bill didn't have their own sponsors, so that's something you have to be careful with. You have to check.
So they basically were like, we want you to do this sex and relationship stage, and the room that we want to do it in, it cost however many thousands of dollars, because it was in the boiler room of the Queen Mary cruise, ocean liner down in Long Beach. Yep. So I'm like, oh my goodness, like, that's amazing. How much does it cost? And I'm like, is it paid for yet? Like, do you have enough money? And they're like, oh, well, we're still fundraising. I'm like, well, I'll do the stage for you and I'll curate it and bring in the educators. If I can raise all the money, if I can get sponsors for that stage, can I just pay for the stage, and then can I keep the rest of the money I raise? So I was able to make it easier for them to do their conference.
And then you had rooms for people to stay in?
I had rooms. Like I took care of all of my educators, and I was able to make a little bit of money because I was able to keep what I didn't spend. So like that's, again, like for some of you, that's like, how do I even start to learn how to do that? Sex Geek Summer Camp's a great place to start learning that. I have some other programs, but Sex Geek Summer Camp would be the place I would start. And what advice do you have?
Some of this we've done together too, but I like to model things that are win-wins. So one, I think of the conference is a great place to network and do videos or find people to collaborate with. So it's an investment for me in networking, and I appreciate the people gathering all these people together. But also, a lot of people can't attend all the conferences. Like there's usually simultaneous meetings going on, and it's.
Or you mean all the lectures inside of the conference? Yeah,
they're going on simultaneously. So like there might be 3 I want to see, and I can't go to all of them, or I might forget some of the notes. So one thing we've done is make print a handout, like a handout of some kind with the URL at the bottom where they can get a copy of the video or some other resources. And that invites people to come to the page and sign up and be on the newsletter, where they might find other things they want to participate in that could bring money. And I've also seen you arrange for other talks in the area at other Sex Geek stores.
Yeah, so I can book talks with sex stores or toy stores in the area to help pay for my trip, so I can stack other workshops. There are conferences that will sometimes be able to pay you or comp you a hotel room or something like that. So you always ask. I'm just going to say, and this is my personal perspective on it, like as a white cisgendered guy who's extroverted, and how the world treats me. But I think your time is better spent learning how to monetize and leverage your appearances, so that you're going to make money anyway, so that you could go to conferences for free. And always ask the organizers what they can do to help you get there, stay there, to keep your expenses low. Sometimes they can help you out, sometimes they can't. But like, it's always good to ask. And generally speaking, unless you've run a conference and know how that works behind the scenes, certainly there are people that abuse the privilege and think everybody should be teaching for free. Yeah. And that really falls into like, not necessarily people being greedy, but people just being mean. Like, conference organizers shouldn't be mean, I think. We can get overworked and be curt or, a little passive aggressive, but that's because we're burnt out, and we should apologize for that as quickly as possible. Right.
In general, I mean, it's an act of love to pull all these people together. And
yeah. So, but for you to be offended, somebody's asking you to teach for free in a conference situation, I would say just understand the situation. Somebody asking you to teach for free and they own a business or something like that, like just the way conferences are is a little bit different. So, but again, ask for what you're worth. It's okay to say no too.
Yeah. And for organizations that ask, you can always ask what they're available. You can just say, if they say, would you do this? It doesn't hurt to say, what can you pay? What's your budget?
I immediately always ask, what's your budget? I'm flattered that you would ask, and what's your budget? And I'm not offended when somebody says there's no budget. And I try to get creative with them about, well, what can we do to make this a win-win for both of us? And sometimes you can come up with ideas you never would have even thought of. Yeah. So, a lot to answer in one 9-minute video, but we're going to stop it here. Leave your comments. Let us know what else you want us to talk about. Thanks.
Thanks for tuning in, Sex Geek. If you would like to continue with the brain sex, do me a favor and click subscribe right here. If you'd like to watch me on social media, that's where you're going to go. Next video, maybe? And if you really would like your own Sex Geek t-shirt, please click right here, right now. Boop. No, really, like...